So Karma Yoga means for whatever that you are supposed to do, you are supposed to do. There are no exceptions. So in Karma Yoga, the criteria is if you have to fight the demon, you have to fight the demon. If you have to fight the war, you have to fight the war because you are a soldier. If you are a devotee, your job is devotional path. That is a part and parcel of it. Now today we are going to learn something very, very interesting. And these verses are actually the truth which is being conveyed by Shri Krishna. So let us move on to the next verse. We are doing chapter 4 from the Bhagavad Gita, verse 39. He who has mastered his senses, exclusively devoted to the practice, and is full of faith, attains knowledge. Having had the revelation of truth, he immediately attains supreme peace in the form of God realization. See how it is mentioned. He who has mastered his senses. What are the senses? The senses are 5. The organs which are connected to the senses are 5. The overall person who is looking after all these 10 things is the mind. So first you got to overcome the senses. Senses is the tongue is a sense of taste, nose is the sense of smell, ear hearing, seeing, touching. Every human being has to try to attain success in overcoming these senses. It's not easy for, now you are watching something, you cannot say I'll close my eyes, I don't want to see the object. The object is already there in front of you. So if the object is already there in front of you, you can't say I don't want to see. You have already seen. You have already heard. Somebody is saying something bad about you. You have already heard. You can't say, I don't want to hear. You have already heard. So the senses are the first thing that moves outside the body. They move on to objects outside. Then the object here is your ear, your eye, your nose, your tongue. These are the objects. Senses are hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting. You got what I am saying? Don't mix up the senses with the objects. Objects are different, senses are different. Overcoming this. What does mastering the sense mean? Let us say you are walking down the road and you see something bad. Think about it. Mastering the senses. I told you there are 5 senses, 5 organs of action, and the overall lead is taken by the mind. If you see something, there is no need of making judgments on anything. Just because your eyes have seen or your ears have heard doesn't mean you have to make judgments on those things. Got it? So don't be judgmental. Master the senses. You just have to see. Doesn't matter. You just have to hear. Don't get upset because you have heard something. You don't have to get upset because you are smelling something bad. You don't have to. Just because somebody is talking ill about you doesn't mean that you have to get upset. Mastering the senses. Exclusively devoted to his practice and full of faith. When you master the senses, you have to devote them to the practice. The practice is of realization. I want to do something because I want to get realized. I want to do this because I want to have something in my kitty with me. When I said realization, those who have the books, can you see the last word over there? It is called God realization. See? So end goal is realization. Please remember this. We are doing this because we have to reach that status. So, he who has mastered his senses is exclusively devoted to this practice of realization. We have to practice to get there. And is full of faith. Without faith, you cannot cross any ocean. You see, the person who was fishing in the lake or in the ocean, wherever, he came, fished, never got a fish. Came back to the shore, there he found this person sitting over there. So this person says, come, let us go and fish again, and you will find the fish. So without much thinking, he went to the same place where he fished earlier, and he threw his net, and his net was full of fishes. So he brought them to the shore, wondering who this person is. So the person says, I am Jesus Christ. Then he says, you have found the fishes over here. Come with me. You are a fisherman of the fishes. Now we will fish for souls. So he dropped his net, he dropped the fishes and walked with Jesus Christ. That is called faith. The faith that your master is taking you to a destination. He says do this. You just have to do it. Walk with me. Just walk with him. Don't have to bother. Oh, where am I going to eat from? What am I going to do? This insecurity which a human being has, what is going to happen to me? Okay? Where am I going to be having food from? This kind of insecurity should never be there. That is the reason why it is called complete faith. You just got to trust and believe in your master. When he comes and he takes you with him. Having had the revelation, attains knowledge, having had the revelation of truth. When he does all these things, overcoming the senses, alright. Second, exclusively devoted to the practice. So you have to practice what is being told to you with faith, not without faith. You have to practice with faith. Yes, I will reach my destination. Yes, I will reach my destination. Yes, I will reach my... This is the thing which has to be constantly there. You can't be saying, I don't know anything, I don't know how things are done, I don't know anything, I'm not there. You know that kind of confusion which a human being has? That should not be the case. Your motivation should be, I am walking with him, I should have full faith, I will reach my destination, period. Gets this knowledge. Remember in the previous verse we were talking about the knowledge. So the knowledge which helps a person get realized, he attains that knowledge. And the revelation of truth happens. The truth reveals itself. It will tell you the truth about yourself, the world, the creation, the dissolution, God, and every other truth that you want to know will be known to you. Attains supreme peace in the form of God realization. Then the person attains peace. A peace of God realization. When you have realized God, the God is within you. I will ask you a question and then think for yourself. Is there anything in the world which a God can't do? And God can do anything in this world, isn't it? Today, He can make it into yesterday. He can make it into tomorrow. He can do whatever He feels like. He can turn water into wine. He can cross over the ocean. He can do anything. God realization means knowing that the God within me is capable of performing any miracles that I want to. See, we have as a human beings lot of limitations. I can't do this is not possible, I don't have money, I don't have this, I don't have... You know how many don'ts and obstacles you put in your way as a human being? Because you don't have faith. But the moment you have faith, faith opens doors. The faith opens a lot of doors towards God realization. And you realize the God within. We will go to the next verse where this is emphasized. So we are doing chapter 4 of the Bhagavad Gita, verse 40. He who lacks discrimination is devoid of faith and is at the same time possessed by doubt, is lost in the spiritual path. For the doubting soul that is neither this world nor the world beyond, nor even happiness. Simple. One who lacks discrimination. What is discrimination? In the spiritual world, the word discrimination means seeing God in everything. Can you see God in everything? Well, you have to see God in everything. So if I say this microphone, does it have God in it? Of course it has God in it. What is the job of this microphone? To record something, Likewise, what is the job of everything? So everything has a certain functionality. If you have seen the image of Narayana, Mahavishnu, have you seen? He has got 4 hands. In one hand is Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, they say. Shankha, the conch. Chakra, Sudarshan Chakra. Gada, Gada, I don't know what you call it in English, whatever. And Padma, Padma means basically flower. He's got a lotus flower in his hand. He uses it. Every hand, every object has different functionality. So can Shankha perform the act of Chakra? No. So he is the God Almighty with so many functionalities. Every organ, everything in his world also has different functionalities. So first, can you see God in that chakra? You got to. Can you see God in that Shankha? Yes. You have to see God even in the Ajishesh. So everything is God. That is called discrimination. First, you have to know discrimination. Shri Krishna is talking about all these negative people in the world who do not have discrimination. They don't see God in anything. They say, I am a human being. I can't do this. I can't do that. This is not possible. That is not possible. This is called discrimination, which is lacking in that person who gives all the negatives. Where is God going to stand in their world? This verse is for those people. He is devoid of faith. First and foremost, when you have no discrimination, where is the question of having faith? I can't see any God anywhere. Forget about God inside them. They can't see God even in the statue in front of them. They can't see God in this whole creation also. They will say, there is no God. Human beings are born when 2 people go and mate with each other. That is all they think like. Sri Krishna says, these people are devoid of faith. They don't have faith. Faith has to be absolute. When there is a God within, you know very well this God will do anything. All miracles can be performed also. But if you don't have faith, you are an average human being, worse than an ant or a kida makoda. Kida makoda means insect. What are you then? You think of yourself as worse than an insect? Start believing that you have that divinity inside of you. I am capable of anything in this world. This person whom Shri Krishna is talking about has no faith at all. Then, and is at the same time possessed by doubt. The doubt is, what's going to happen? I don't know. This is not possible. That is not possible. I am incapable of doing this. I am incapable of doing that. All these are called doubts. Oh, you mean to say you are incapable of doing something? Well, I will do one thing. Next time when you are walking on the streets, I will send one bear behind you. I'll send one tiger behind you. It's the same idiot who says, I cannot run, will start running for his life. Oh, why did that happen? Of course it is going to happen. Somebody who says that, I don't know how these things are happening. Well, they are not going to happen to that person. Faith is required for it to happen. Faith that there is God over there. This is very important. God is there. He can do anything in this world. So faith is required, but self-doubt, doubt about everything. You see, a stone, they find a stone, they have doubt in that stone. If they come to me, I'll say, this is Shaligram. Shaligram, it is just a stone. And they will break it to see, oh, what is inside this stone? So they will break the stone and they will find one fossil inside. Ah, you see, it's a fossil. There is no God inside, it's a fossil. Really? Well, you can't see God in anything then. With full faith, you can see God in everything. That is called discrimination. But because you don't have any faith and you cannot discriminate, you are full of doubts. Doubts are always going to be, how am I going to live tomorrow? What's going to happen? Will I be alive? Will I be dead? You know, all kinds of questions that come along in the path. Suppose your children are going to school or college, you will wonder, where is the money going to come from? What is going to happen? I don't know. That is called lack of faith. And self-doubt, doubt. Things are not going to work for this person. Is lost on the spiritual path. What does it mean is lost on the spiritual path? Even if you are a highly spiritual person, this is being taught to a spiritual person, everything that you have learned will turn to zero. Because, how does it turn to zero? The person gets covered by ignorance. You see, without practice, without doing anything, if you are thinking that there is no God, I don't have any faith, there is no money, there is nothing over there, the same lessons that a person has learned will cover the person up. The case in point is two of my own devotees whom I am going to talk about. This person would literally be taking care of me every single day. Guruji, how are you? Would you like this to eat? Would you like that? Would you do this? Would you do that? Everything. Suddenly, a few years later, the same person writes to me as if I am the biggest villain in that person's life. Everything that I taught had turned to zero. No discrimination, no dispassion, and full of attachments. Me and my child, me and my child, me and my child. Child means not a child, a grown-up person, of course. This person was lost to spirituality, never getting the whole thing back. Now if the person comes to me, I am not going to be available because I have a very short span. You really think I will be there for that person? No way. Another person who literally said left, right and center whatever the person wanted to and walked away. I never said anything. I just kept quiet. I said, see, there is something which is called Maya. I don't lift my finger to do anything. So Maya is there behind. She is listening to all the crap that a person is dishing out. She did what was necessary. That person was brought down to the knees. I am not happy about it. That person was brought down to the knees. Finally, the person connected with me and said, please save me. I am not a villain. So I said, don't worry. Nothing in this world will harm you. The person got saved. So this happened. But along the way, what happened was this which is mentioned in the verse. The person completely lost themselves on the spiritual path. The spiritual path closed away because ignorance comes into the picture. So, he who lacks discrimination is devoid of faith and is at the same time possessed by doubts, is lost in the spiritual path. The spiritual path closes itself. Have you seen, if you go to a pond or a lake which has not been disturbed for quite some time, pond or a lake, you take a stone and throw it in the lake, you will suddenly see that the green scum on top separates and the water below is crystal clear. The stone goes inside. After a few minutes, the scum is back. That is called ignorance. So the scum comes back, which means the person becomes the ignorant person back again. For the doubting soul, there is neither this world nor the world beyond, not even happiness. For this person who has so many doubts, this world is also going to be a full of failure. The next world is going to be double failure because they are going to be reborn again and again and again. Karma starts acting up and they have to follow the path of karma. And there is no happiness in that person. The person is always in misery. So Shri Krishna's, this is a very, very cautious statement. It's a very, very dangerous statement. Look at how he's put it. And he is telling Arjuna this. It is not a threat. It is something which happens in this world. He is not threatening Arjuna. He doesn't even want to threaten. Krishna doesn't threaten. Understand, Krishna is always giving the thing as it is. He just says this is what it is. And what it is, he who lacks discrimination is devoid of faith and is at the same time possessed of doubt. So the person has doubts on everything. Why is this? Why is that? Why I can't do this? This is not possible. I cannot reach anywhere. I am a useless person. This is called self-doubt. Useless person. You see, everybody else is going ahead. I am the only one who is stuck up in my world. All this is called doubt. This person who has doubt can never reach anywhere. First, they will be lost on the spiritual path. Nobody can find them. The whole path gets covered for them. It is not like your school or college thing. No, school and college knowledge is there in your brain. Spiritual knowledge is not stored in any place. Please understand this. You may think spiritual knowledge is inside my body. I will again find it. Sorry boss, it doesn't work. The same book if I teach you next time, and if you have doubts this time, and you are not even having any, understanding of the subject, if you have become like this faithless person, the next time I open up the same book, you will not remember a single word from this book. You will say, did we do this? I don't remember doing this. I don't have the knowledge. By the way, this is exactly what happens. That is why the person, when they meet me in the next life, they really have no understanding that this book has been done. So for them it is again new. So that person is lost on the spiritual path. This doubting soul, for them, this world is full of failure. The next world is also failed. And they will never get any happiness. This is scripture. Please understand, this is words from the scripture. So we have come to verse 40. We will stop over here.